It's gonna happen. We're gonna hit the end of Genesis. I'm gonna read this chapter. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna record the next video, and we are going to be done. I'm wearing my pants that ride up high on my legs when I sit today. Honestly, I've owned these things for like 4 years at this point. I should really buy some new pants. If you keep commenting and liking, maybe I'll be able to afford them. Chapter 49 is Jacob blesses his sons. Not even a chapter with endless repetition can get me down today. Then Jacob called for his sons and said, "Gather around so I can tell you what will happen to you in days to come." We getting some of that divination again? How does Jacob know what's going to happen to them? Is this just old man crazy talk? Assemble and listen, sons of Jacob. Listen to your father Israel. How does he know what's going to happen? Reuben, you were my firstborn. Oh yeah, I bet he's got great things to say for Reuben. He's been one of the cool ones, largely, along the course of this whole story. He was the guy who didn't want Joseph to die. Didn't even want to send him into slavery, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I realized recently while recording how often I say, if I'm remembering correctly. You guys are just going to have to deal with that because it just comes rolling out of my mouth all the time. My might, the first sign of my strength. Man, this is poetic. Excelling in honor, excelling in power. Why don't people talk like this anymore? That's. I feel like, being this complimentary to your son is like a version of like healthy masculinity. This is a good way to build people up, especially if it's your family. Turbulent as the waters, you will no longer excel. Oh, dang. I was just in the middle of talking about how good he was treating his son. For you went up onto your father's bed, onto my couch, and defiled it. Oops. Oopsie. That's all he has to say? Is Reuben, you used to be awesome, but you kinda suck now. After you defiled my couch, I stopped loving you. Simeon and Levi are brothers. We knew that. Their swords are weapons of violence. I think we could have guessed that. Let me not enter their council. Let me not join their assembly. Is this just Jacob getting out all the things he's kept pent up inside well into his old age? For they have killed men in their anger and hamstrung oxen as they pleased. God, why haven't we heard of any of this yet? He's just airing out all the dirty laundry of his sons before he dies. Is he gonna say good things, like only good things about any of them? Or is it all like building up their character just so he can tear it down? Cursed be their anger, so fierce, and their fury, so cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel. What does that mean? That's the other thing I say in this channel all the time. What does that mean? I will scatter them in Jacob. That's not a location, that's just him. And disperse them in Israel. That is a location, but since that's also his name, I assume he's talking about himself again. Feel free to put that one in the comments if you know. Judah, hey, Judah, Judah, Judah. Your brothers will praise you, okay? Don't get too comfortable, Judah. You never know what Jacob's gonna say next. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies, okay? He was just talking about how he didn't like the violence of Simeon and Levi. So maybe he doesn't mean that as a compliment. Your father's sons will bow down to you. He could have said his brothers, but I guess that works. You are a lion's cub, Judah. Of all the things, because now he's complimenting himself. I am a lion, you are my cub. You return from the prey, my son. Like a lion, he crouches and lies down. Like a lioness, who dares to rouse him? I'll rouse you, Judah. The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet. What's the difference between a scepter and a staff in this context? Thought they'd basically be the same thing. Maybe it's more quiet magic from the Bible. Until he whom it belongs shall come, and the obedience of nations shall be his. Oh, these are going to be the 12 tribes of Israel. 100%, that's what I'm going with. I'm putting all my money on that bet. Jacob has 12 sons. Why did I not make this connection earlier? These are the 12 tribes of Israel. That's basically what he's predicting right now. How does he know the future? Again, not answered anywhere in here. Wait, maybe some of the notes on the sides do tell us something. Genesis 49:10. That's the verse we just read. Or from his descendants, or to whom tribute belongs. The meaning for Hebrew for this phrase is uncertain. Okay, that doesn't really help us a lot. Let's just keep reading. He will tether his donkey to a vine. Odd choice, but okay. His colt to the choicest branch. You see that tree, Judah? Every branch on that tree is yours to pick freely. You get the best ones for your colt. That's C-O-L-T, not C-U-L-T. So like a young, strong horse. He will wash his garments in wine. I know that's supposed to be a compliment, but you definitely don't want to do that with garments. His robes in the blood of grapes. I mean, like I said, it sounds cool. It is poetic. I don't think I've ever heard that sentence before. He will wash his robes in the blood of grapes. What a way to intensify the status of grapes. His eyes will be darker than wine. His teeth whiter than milk. Doubt it. There's no way dentistry was good enough to keep their teeth in good condition in this time. Zebulon, here we go. Here's our Zebulon. If you've been watching up until this point, you remember he's the only one with the name of an alien. And I don't just mean someone who's moved from one country to another. I'm talking about like space alien. Zebulon will live by the seashore. So he's like the Greyjoy family in this story. And become a haven for ships. Yeah, there's lots of money to be made there. His border will extend towards Sidon. Don't know where that is. And that's it for Zebulun. Issachar is a... This is awesome. This is I wish this was a prophecy that I was given. Issachar is a raw-boned donkey, lying down among the sheep pens. When he sees how good is his resting place, and how pleasant is his land, he will bend his shoulder to the burden and submit to forced labor. What an odd prediction. You're going to be so comfortable that you'll be happy with slavery, or forced labor, as he's put it. Here's Dan. We know and love Dan. Not Daniel. He's never been called Daniel once. He's just Dan. Dan will provide justice for his people as one of the tribes of Israel. So he's said it outright. For one of the tribes of Israel. He has predicted a lot. Dan will be a snake by the roadside. Okay, not good. This is one of the not good ones. A viper along the path that bites the horse's heels? Does he not bite at people's heels too? Is it just horses? So that its rider tumbles backward. Okay, so yeah, I guess the ultimate target is the person in this case. The horse is just in the way. I mean, who hasn't targeted a horse's feet? We've all played Red Dead Redemption. I look for your deliverance, Lord. That's just a statement he's making in the middle of these reviews for all of his sons. How many have we done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. Judah 5, Zebulun 6, Issachar, Dan 8. We're through 8 brothers so far. Gad. I'm glad to be seeing all these names again because I could never keep track of who was who. But we're getting them all. It's like Snow White and the 7 dwarves. Israel and the 12 sons. Wait, isn't Benjamin number 13? I'll count at the end. Gad will be attacked by a band of raiders. He just does not care. Israel does not care about his son's feelings. Just, you guys need to know what's going to happen. It's this. This is what's going to happen to you. Like a side quest in Fallout 3, you will be attacked by a band of raiders. I never played Fallout 4, so I assume that happens, but I didn't want to commit to the bit without knowing for sure. But he will attack them at their heels. Okay, so that was that kind of neutralizes it a little bit. I wouldn't say that's like good or bad. He'll be attacked by raiders, but he won't attack their he won't attack their bodies. Like, he won't hit like the torso. He won't go for the jugular. Won't even touch the head. He'll attack their heels. He's kind of like Dan with the snake thing, but in human form and towards raiders. Asher's food will be rich. Yeah. That's who I'd want that. He will provide delicacies. He will provide delicacies fit for a king. So he's going to be a chef. I'll do the translations from now on. Every time Jacob just wants to say something basic, like you will be a chef, I'll translate stuff like your food will be rich and it'll be fit for a king. You'll be a chef. You'll just be a really good cook. Yeah, it doesn't say he's making the food for the king. It says it's fit for a king. So, Asher, you will be a great cook. Naphtali. Every time I read Naphtali, I thought it was a woman, but it's a son. Naphtali is a doe set free. Is it a woman? Doe is like a deer, a female deer that bears beautiful fawns. Yeah, Naphtali's gotta be a daughter, but he called for his sons at the beginning. But he calls Naphtali a doe that bears fawns, like birth. I'm saying Naphtali's a girl. Joseph is a fruitful vine. Here we go. Here comes the favoritism. Whose branches climb over a wall. Isn't that more like a weed? That's not typically the kind of vine that's good for a property. In Texas, the Homeowners Association would send you a letter. With bitterness, archers attacked him. They shot at him with hostility. I don't know if he's being literal or metaphorical, but his bow remained steady. It sounds really literal, but he's been pretty metaphorical this entire time. His strong arm stayed limber because of the hand of the mighty one, Jacob. There he goes, complimenting himself again. Because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel. Joseph is awesome because of me. Because of your father's God, who helps you. Because of the Almighty, who blesses you with blessings of the skies above. He blesses you with blessings. Blessings of the deep springs below. Blessings of the breast and womb. Your father's blessings are greater than the blessings of the ancient mountains, than the bounty of the age-old hills. Man, Jacob is he is really, really into himself right now. Let all these rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. Yeah, this time his brothers won't be upset. Like, they know Joseph is he's top dog at this point. He's choosing who lives and who dies in the land of Egypt. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. Harr! In the morning, he devours the prey. God, this is like Dwight Schrute again. In the evening, he divides the plunder. But yeah, we know that Joseph and Benjamin are his two favorites. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel. And this is what their father said to them when he blessed them, giving each the blessing appropriate to him. So how many was that? Are we counting Naphtali? I think, where did I stop? Dan was number 7. Gad, Asher, Naphtali, that would be 10. Joseph and Benjamin. So Naphtali is a guy? Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful fawns. Okay. The death of Jacob. There's one short little section here. It's before chapter 50. Chapter 50 is on the page. This is the end. This is the very end of everything. But there's a title before the chapter actually comes up. The death of Jacob. Finally, Jacob's dying. I've been waiting so long to be rid of this guy. Then he gave them these instructions. I'm about to be gathered to my people. Bury me with my fathers. Yeah, that's what he said before. He told Joseph that earlier in the book of Genesis. In the cave in the field of Ephron the Hittite. Who was Ephron again? Zac Efron? The cave in the field of Machpelah, near Mamre in Canaan. Hey, we talked about all these places in the beginning of the book, which Abraham bought, along with the field, as a burial place from Ephron the Hittite. That's who it was. That's who Ephron was. He bought the land. Abraham bought the land from him. There Abraham and his wife Sarah were buried. There Isaac and his wife Rebekah were buried. There I buried Leah. The field and the cave in it were bought from the Hittites. When Jacob had finished giving his instructions to his sons, he drew his feet up to the bed, breathed his last, and was gathered to his people. Man, that's how it happens. Bye-bye, Jacob. Thanks for the predictions that we don't understand the origin of. Don't know where you got all that information. Was he correct? Is that what ended up happening? Do we have historical accounts of... Oh, I bet it's in here. Is that what happens in the Old Testament? Does it all just stem from here? There has to be so many stories in here. This is page 74, and I think I've said the page count before. This Bible, Revelation, is on page 1700. If I read this whole thing, it will be the longest book I have ever read. And I devoured Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. That was like 1,200 pages, I think. The next one, maybe it was 11. The next one, Oathbringer, is like 13 or 14. Those are all shorter than this. It just doesn't look big because they save so much money with the thin pages. We are almost done. I'm pumped. I'm hyped up for this. Chapter 50 is next. It is the end of Genesis. Tune in as we close out our first book of the Bible.